That's hella XP.
Hello, and welcome to the Hella XP Behind the Scenes. Uh, I'm Mo, often your GM, and I'm here with Lauren and Matt and Emmett Fury.
Let me update my thing so it will say that. Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Emmett. I'm Emmett now.
We've been trying to do this for a couple weeks, but yeah, we just kind of wanted to take a moment now that we got some listeners, some fans, and do a like. Okay, these people are fun, or at least amusing, or at least a pleasant distraction at times.
One.
Yeah, that one.
Who are they? And yeah, who are the folks behind the characters? And so I kind of want to start with my main conspirator behind this, Matt Koenig. Who are you? What makes you famous?
Who am I? I guess nothing makes me famous, but the thing some people know me for is I write on a show called Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is primarily a comedy. Having that kind of mindset, I also have trouble staying entirely serious when playing a role-playing game, though I am fortunate enough to work with others who are able to be even less serious than me, and then they allow me to get into a more serious role if need be. Yeah, that guy. Mostly.
Someone has to be, and then you raise to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I also run a company called Cinevore, where many of these podcasts are going up on our YouTube channel in partnership with Mo at Ashy Feet Entertainment. And we just decided to make this because, I don't know, Mo shared his game with me. It was a lot of fun, and he happens to be a great GM, which we've learned in playing this. So it made sense. And also, I will say, Mo, you have a very good production brain. So you were able to be like, this is the schedule. We're going to do a few days of this, and then I'm going to chop it up. I was a big fan of the fact that you didn't want to run big, long 4-hour streams, which I enjoy playing games that long, but I have trouble watching them that long, just personally. So when you were like, I want them to be like a half hour to 45 minutes, I'm like, that's perfect. So this made a lot of sense for that reason.
Agreed.
Anyway, that's more than you asked, but that's kind of who I am. So, also, I write sci-fi books with Lauren.
Sci-fi books with Lauren. Lauren, what kind of sci-fi books you guys write?
We write, we have three in particular that are going to be coming out soon. We have a release date of April 9th. This is the Parallax trilogy. So yeah, Matt and I wrote them together. We're writing partners. So all of the stuff that Matt does, I do kind of too. I write comedy and sci-fi and fantasy. And yeah, so we're really excited about our trilogy that's coming out. I also love playing games too. I'm probably the most serious gamer out of all of these present here, just because I enjoy angst more than being silly. And if you keep watching second season, you might see a little bit of that happen too. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Dum dum dum.
Yay.
And Emmett, are you a serious gamer?
It depends. I'm serious about gaming, and sometimes I play a serious character. It really depends. With this crew, historically of late, it's not been a serious character, but I enjoy both kinds. And what I do is I'm an interactive storyteller of a variety of shapes. So most recent gig was on a project called Silent Hill Ascension, which launched like yesterday or something.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's pretty brand new. Sort of a branching narrative, telltale-ish sort of video game type experience. And I was at Niantic for 3 years working on Ingress, which is their original IP that predated Pokemon Go. And
Mm.
I got to run an ARG for Wizards of the Coast in 2018 for Dungeons and Dragons, and those are the things people would have heard of. And then we all have a million things before that people wouldn't have heard of, but that led us to where we are today. And this was my first. I've sort of done some work. I did write on like a live stream tabletop RPG series called Vast at Geek and Sundry, so I have some experience with this, but never on camera as a cast member. So this has been fun.
That's right. You're
Trying that
entirely
out.
behind the scenes on that one. I forgot about that.
Yes, Jackson would occasionally pull me up, and I would be, deer in headlights, nervous person, trying to take praise or something.
To
but-
like explain what you wrote on an episode, or to like guide people through that one, like.
I think he just called me up at some point after both, just for a minute, just to be like, hey, there's the writer, and
That's cool.
get
That's
a
neat.
second. Yeah, but so yeah, there I rambled, and that's an answer.
Ooh,
It's true.
nice.
So what about you, Mo? What brought you to
Oh yeah, turn it on you.
I will. What brought you to gaming? Because you have a TV and a film background as well, and a podcast background. So, like, how did this journey occur?
Well, when I was in high school, a long, long time ago, some friends had a little blue box called Dungeons and Dragons, and I wanted to play it. Um, and they said, "We're not going to play this one. A new book just came out. Dum dum dum." And and we hear it's better. And so yeah, I started out in the AD&D world. Um, I played a fun, silly little game called Top Secret, which was I guess D&D was owned by TSR at the time, and Top Secret was their spy game, and I really liked that. And then someone taught me the dark arts of Champions, which is
Hmm.
it used to be the premier superhero role-playing game, and um, it was really interesting because I grew up in the Bay Area, and I didn't realize that Champions was owned by a local company. And so when I would buy my comic books, I would see these things next to the book rack, the comic book rack, that looked like they should be comic books. And you open them up, and then it's just like tons of text and charts and stuff. And I was curious about them, but obviously it's not what I wanted. And come to find out, that was Champions role playing game, and right there under my nose. And I also recently discovered that what is it, Shadowrun and Call of Cthulhu were also published in the Bay Area at the time.
Hmm.
And so I find it weird that I'm a game developer these days because I grew up in a hotbed of game development, whether I knew it or not. Um, I got out of the hobby because um, I love the storytelling aspect of role-playing games, but I wanted to tell different kinds of stories. And I wanted to tell stories that had a little more heart and a little less fight. And you know, it felt like at the time, unless I wanted to play vampire, and my friend said the cool kids didn't do that. Um,
I always assumed the
um,
cool kids were doing that, and I just wasn't invited, so I wasn't cool enough to be a vampire.
Mhm.
um, yeah, we're talking about gamers, like the gradations of cool are
It's true.
I got into writing, and I worked on a novel that'll never see the light of day because, it was a good thing to get out of my system, and I'm glad it's out. And then someone told me about screenwriting, and you know, um, novels are interesting because how many pages are they?
A
Like,
lot.
And
yeah,
and
400-ish.
and
A million.
and how long do they have to be, and what needs to go into them? And when I found out that screenplays should be between 90 and 120 pages, I was like, that's shorter.
And there's a
I
lot of white space on those pages too.
Yeah, it's
and a
true.
lot of white space on the page. I was smart enough to know that was shorter than a novel, and so
Mhm.
um, I worked really hard to become a pretty good screenwriter and sold some scripts, made lots of short films. And yeah, um, it was really interesting when some of my filmmaker friends were like, "Hey, have you ever tried role-playing games?"
Yeah.
And I'd sit back on my heels and say, "When I was a kid." Um, but people start talking about some of the new techniques and conventions of role playing, and it really intrigued me. And so, I came back in out the cold and um, kind of that screenwriting muscle, that storytelling muscle, really kind of led me quickly down that road of, well, I have a story to tell.
Hmm.
And thus, Shibuyan Knights was born. So. Um, Yeah, um, podcasting feels a lot like filmmaking to me.
Hmm.
Um, I understand it's gauche to say they're the same thing, but podcasting's easier. You're not supposed to say that. Um, but I learned a lot of production skills um, in the indie filmmaking space, and they come in quite handy in the podcast production space.